Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 5 Tips and Tricks for Careers in Athletics. I'm your host, Dr. Maury Mosovitz, with my all-time most favorite, most wonderful co-host in the world, Jen Albanese. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Maury, how are you?
Very excited because I have someone that I work really closely with that I'm just so glad has the
Yes,
opportunity to be on here. And actually, we had a guest that wasn't able to show, and she jumped in right away
I
and
know.
filled
She's
the
the
spot.
best.
She's been on my list for a while, but I was like, oh, who can I rely on to just jump in at any time? And that would be Marisa Carpenter, used to be Duvall.
I
That's
know.
how I remember her by. But
Yes, yes.
Marissa's doing amazing things at Louisville. She just runs their championships and supports their games, and I'm just so proud of what she's accomplished. And every time someone's from Louisville, they always tell me how much they love her, which means things are going great, and we did a great job helping her get her start. So it makes
Yeah,
me very
she's the
happy.
best. She was one of my favorites that you ever had. So
Yeah,
she's a sweetheart and it'll be great to catch up with her. So
absolutely. Well, you and I have had some excitingness happening over the last couple of weeks. You were helping me get a
yes.
gift for my wife, and I
Yep.
had something that has never happened before to me in my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm always the consultant for Liz's presents, and I'm happy to be because, she deserves very nice presents. That's for
Right.
sure.
And I just don't want to make that mistake and be like, okay, well, like I put a lot of effort and thought into things. I cross check, like everything else in my life.
Yes.
And the gifts included. So I'm going back and forth with Jen all day on a particular gift that
All
we're trying to
day.
figure. I
Like
annoyed the hell out of her.
sending me links, calling me, coming to my office, like all this
Yeah.
stuff. Like even after work was over,
Yeah, so this
sending
was
me
after
stuff.
work was over. I'm calling her on the phone, and she's
Yep.
like, "I'm getting my nails done, so I can't get on the phone."
Oh
And
God,
so
that
she's like
sounds
holding
so
it up.
bougie. I'm
Yeah,
getting
it
my
was,
nails
was
done.
pretty bougie. And then so I'm like, okay. So she's like telling me to look, do this, this, and this, and I'm doing it. And I hang up, and then I find this other thing, and I try to call her back to get her input. And this woman picks up, and it's not Jen. I was like, and I'm looking at the phone like, what the hell? Like, did I push the wrong number? Sounds nothing like any person that I was expecting to hear, not someone that I knew. Like, I was trying to figure this out. And she's like, hi, I have her phone, not Jen's phone, not whatever, her phone. Can you get a hold of her to get it? So I'm
Okay,
like,
so my side of the story. Hold on. So I took my daughter. We went to go get her nails done before the holiday season. And I was texting with Maury and I was on the dryer, like texting, and I left my phone like under the dryer while my nails were finished. And so it was like coming to like the nail salon was closing. So I was like hurrying up, putting Natalie's coat on, putting my coat on, and I like left, got in the car, and we drove away. And I was in the car and Natalie asked me to play a song. So I went to grab for my phone and I was like, oh my God, I don't have my phone. I'm like, Natalie, I got to go back. I don't have my phone. So we were driving back to
yeah,
get my
but
phone.
pause, because I then call your husband, and I was like,
Yes.
Jen doesn't have her phone. He's like, how the hell do you know that? I was like, because I just talked to the woman that has it at the nail salon. So he's about turning around to go grab the phone for her because he's afraid that she doesn't have it. Now you can start again.
Yeah. So then I get back to the nail salon and she's like, oh, it's right there on the counter. Didn't tell me she talked to anybody. So like I grabbed the phone. As I'm holding it, John's calling me and he's like, hey, did you end up going back to get your phone? And I was like, yes,
Well, yes, you did, because you're talking on it.
because
That's a
I'm
very
talking on
stupid
it. Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah. I know. And he's like, well, Maury told me. And I was like, wait a minute. How does Maury know I don't have my phone? I was so confused.
So
So then
there
I
was
had to
this.
call him and he told me the story and it was hilarious. So,
So, moral of the story is, if someone leaves their phone at a nail salon and you call them, just
yeah.
it'll all work out,
And
evidently.
and the last thing I said as Maury was telling me the story, I can't wait to tell this story on the podcast.
There you go.
So there you go, everybody. You got the story.
You got the story. And I got the gift that I needed. It took about 8 days later. We finished all of that,
We were
but
all set.
we
All
got it
set.
done.
I love
Well,
it.
I'm sure Marissa would appreciate this story
Oh,
because
she would
she's
think that
one that
was
would enjoy this.
hilarious.
But with that, let's get to these messages and get straight on to Marissa.
Are you a loyal 5 Tips and Tricks podcast listener? If not, now is the time to start. Get all your info and fun content on the podcast by following us on all our social channels at @AthCareerPod. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast is a part of Athletic Career Consulting. Make sure to reach out to us. The one-stop shop for everything is our website, www.athcareer.com. Remember, follow and like us on @AthCareerPod, rate and review us, and get all your info at www.athcareer.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. All right, Maury, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Very much. She's a dynamic leader in college athletics, currently serving as the facilities operations manager for Louisville University Athletics. Her role spans managing game days for field hockey, women's basketball, and softball, assisting with football stadium operations, and overseeing daily operations for multiple athletic facilities and postseason championships. Her journey began on the softball diamond at Moyne College, where she played 4 years before earning a master's in sports venue and event management from Syracuse University. Since then, she's managed ACC and NCAA championships, contributed to major tournaments, and continued to shape the future of athletic facilities and events. Originally from Syracuse, now making an impact in Louisville, she's a proud mom, a dedicated professional, and a true game changer. Today, we are thrilled to introduce Marisa Carpenter to the podcast. And I have to say, former intern, then employee. She did the inaugural position where she had to help me with camps, which was probably like the worst position to take over.
God bless. God bless. That's the worst.
And then journeyed off to Louisville, which we miss her very much, but no, she's killing it. So Marisa, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be back with both of you. It feels like our days at Syracuse all over again.
I know.
It's so long, but so short ago. It's like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I know. We love Marisa. Marisa was always one of my favorites. Go down to the facilities office. We would chit chat. You know, she was always so wonderful. So this is a nice catch up. We're excited to do this. So
yes. Yeah. Always with a smile. Marisa always would just smile, even when it was not a fun thing. She was like, yeah, I'll take it. So, well, with that, let's hear some great tips. I'm sure you've learned a ton of stuff at Louisville and your experience when you were here at Syracuse, but we'd love to hear a couple tips from you.
Yeah. So my first tip is something I always would remind myself, even when I played in college, was control the controllables. You know, you can only control so much on the diamond and, you know, what you can contribute to your team, not what's going on around you. And, you know, same with events. I mean, you can control how you prepare for the event and like how you react to situations. Like no event is ever going to run perfectly. It either be minor
as we
or
all
major.
shake our heads like, yes, that's correct.
Never. So sometimes it's a minor thing, sometimes it's a major like issue that happens, but you can only control how you react in the situation. And then obviously like afterwards looking back, like how can I have done better, or even like improving like the fan experience, or if a situation again arises again.
No, it's so key. Like, I think so often you start focusing on those things that you have no ability to change. And once you can put that aside and be like, you know what, I got to focus on the things I actually have, like the ability to adjust or fix, and just be realistic about that and recognize it really changes so much. And it's just a great tip, because I think everybody wants to worry about all these things that they really can't do anything about. And when you put your mind to like addressing those things that you can, it seems to all fall in place.
Yeah, I mean, you can drive yourself crazy. I mean, trying to control the things you can't control. I was going to say another shout out, a fellow Dolphin. Let's go Dolphins. But yeah, I mean, that's across really anything, like even in marketing, facilities, there are things you can only prepare for so much. And it's almost like you prepare for the things you can't prepare for, you know, to be able to adjust to something on the fly and deal with whether it's a small or a major problem. And when you learn to accept that's going to happen, you're more prepared to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird like catch-22, but you know, only controlling things you can control and understanding that, I think is key to continued success, you know?
I think it's awesome you learned it as a student athlete too, because a lot of times people don't realize those skills that they pick up, like being an athlete and being involved in athletics. And like, it's so key to like, hey, this is something that I got early out of my experience. And I just think that's awesome. And I can see that about you from the moment you started working with us. Like you were very focused on those things that you were able to deal with. And if it wasn't that, you were like, you know what, I'm gonna try and not let it bother me.
Yes. Even
Awesome.
still today.
It's a good thing to do. I wish sometimes I could do that all the time. I was never doing that early on in my career, so I give you a lot of credit.
Well, yeah, like you said, it comes from being the athlete, and that's
Yeah.
kind of your mentality at Moyne, and you kind of transition that over to, your everyday life too. So,
Well,
Yeah.
great one to start with, killing it in the
Yes.
first one. Let's go number 2.
So this one, I realized, like starting out in my career and like even now telling students that are interns is you don't always have to take a full-on internship to get experience and to learn about what someone does. You can absolutely shadow people for an event or for a week in the office because, you may go into that internship 2 weeks in, you're like, this is not what I thought it would be. And that way you're not wasting your whole semester or someone else's. Shadowing, you can learn a lot within just one game. In undergrad, I shadowed someone in sports info thinking like, oh, this would be really cool, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And after that game, I was like, there's no way I could do that with stats and write-ups. I was like, no,
Yep.
cannot do that.
Same.
So I give people
same.
props.
Yep.
So then it allows you to like move on to something else like on the list. Like, okay, I've checked that box. That's not what I want to do, but let's try this avenue instead. And, a lot of times when you shadow someone, you meet so many people in the athletic department or in any organization, and it opens doors and you're meeting new people and it just works out.
When did you know you wanted to do facilities and events? Like, what was that experience like when you like?
It was so in undergrad, I did a lot of that with, working like the Moyne events, especially like postseason lacrosse and basketball, because I was done playing at that point in the late spring and wintertime. I was home and, I really enjoyed it, but I didn't realize it was like a career
Right.
until I got to grad school when I was doing changeovers with and doing Q's crew.
Q's crew, woo! Let's go.
That was when I was like, okay, I'm actually good at this and I really do enjoy it. And you encouraged me to do the whole year internship and I was so excited and I loved every second of it.
Yeah, it's like kind of funny when it hits you. It's like, yeah, this is kind of a really neat thing to do, and you will not be bored. And then there's
No, never.
and then there's like other people that like will shadow and be like, how do you guys do this all the time? It's like, I can't relate to it. I was like, yeah, this is just what we do. It's just part of it. And then they're like, you're moving stuff around and you're like having to tell people what to do. Like some people just, it's not what they want to connect with. And like, as a person that has to take on those interns, I'm sure like you have got this before too. It's like if someone quits on you, that's like, oh, well, I was relying on that person to be a part of our team for the year. Now you're reworking everything. And so it doesn't work well for either side. So it's a really good tip and a really good way to like expose like what you want to do as a young person and like really get a feel, because not all jobs in athletics are the same at all. Like you pointed out, there's a huge difference between what people in our industry do. Even though we work with one another, we have very different roles.
Yeah, and there's so many different avenues nowadays that, students don't realize until they're immersed in the college athletics world. Like we had an intern one year that did a great job for us, and at the end he was like, I really enjoyed my time, but I really want to explore sports info. And we're like, okay, great. Like, would happy to pass your name along. And he shadowed them for a week, loved it so much, and then is now their full year intern.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I had a young woman who did the year-long internship with us, and she kind of said, I really like doing like event production, but I don't like doing day-to-day like sports game stuff. So she ended up getting a position like in like the hospitality side and like doing stuff for like event prep and not doing the like facilities side of it and like hosting. So like you kind of find your niche. Like she said, oh, you know, these are things I liked and these are things I didn't, but it's such a great thing to do to get that hone in on what you're interested in and like really know about it, because it can make a huge difference in like how your career trajectory may go. So that's awesome.
I think it's a good reminder for students too to try everything. You know, I think
Yes.
that's the message, is to try everything, because then you see what you like and what you don't like. And there's not a lot of other jobs that you can do that, where you can try different things and then pick what you like. You know, I mean, you don't get, I mean, I guess you have a specialty if you're a doctor or something, but like,
Yeah, but you don't get to try that much.
I mean, that's not too much trying.
You get a couple
Not too much
rotations.
trying. Yeah. So I think that's a good reminder for students. Like, it doesn't have to be the, you know, you can go be a game day intern. You can go shadow the facilities. You can shadow in sports information, shadow in creative. Like, having all of those, that knowledge can help shape like what you want to do for your semester long internship or your year long internship. And it's good to go in with as much knowledge as possible. So I like that, of like, hey, try it all. You have
but
the
like,
opportunity to try it all.
Like you said, you can't really do it as a freshman in other fields. Like we allow people who are freshmen and young to come in and like get exposed to what we do. And like, that's very unusual. Usually you have to like go through certain steps and be involved. And I think it's great insight, because I think in some ways, because our careers are like in athletics, not just collegiate, but pro, like it happens so fast. Like there's so few jobs, people are still trying to like figure stuff out, and you have to give yourself that edge. So like the more you can learn about what things are and get in early, I think is a great tip.
Yeah. And you like have a better understanding of like what those other departments do, because leading events, you want to know like, okay, how can I support like marketing and making sure that I get everything from them in a timely manner that works for them and their deadline, but also works for the event. So
yeah, so much we're point on so much, because everything kind of comes back towards facilities and events and then goes and spreads back and forth. So oftentimes like, okay, I got to make the building open up at this time so that the athletic communication staff can do this, or we have to find parking for this, or we have to connect. Like we are, you know, such the kind of hub of a lot of these things. So it's a great point. The more you can kind of find out what other people do, it doesn't mean you have to like know every part of it, but just understand what they need and how things may operate is a great example too. No, awesome. Okay. Speeding along, number 3.
Yes.
Number 3.
It's okay to say no. Especially to people that you work with closely. For a while, that was hard for me to do. Especially, you don't want to let down coaches and your student athletes by saying no. But you have to say no sometimes if it doesn't benefit the whole department, especially if it's going to stretch people in different ways. And if you don't have the money in your budget to, you know, like add on into a facility. And, you know, when you say no, I always try and find an alternative solution. Like, hey, can't host this event this weekend because we have a home football game and there's a lot of logistics that would not work. Staff wouldn't be there. However, let's look at this weekend, or in the future, like let's look even earlier in the season to try and do it and not last minute, you know. And you feel bad, but you know, saying no is okay. And I had to remind myself that a lot. Like, you're not letting anyone down. Like, it's okay to say no. You're doing it you're doing it out of the good of your heart to help the department as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big one for me.
I was going to let him take the floor.
There's a difference between saying no just to say no. And those people are wrong. Like, they should not do that. You shouldn't just go in to say no. But if you're saying, hey, I'm trying to help you by saying this doesn't work right, or no, this isn't the right thing for it, there's probably like a reason behind it. And, you know, coaches are a hard population, which we all know. Like, nothing against them.
We love them. We love them.
Yes.
They're difficult.
But we're here to support them.
But everybody's working in their own area, and it's very hard to see what other people have going on or what the department has going on, which I get. But that's why we exist, because we can then be like, okay, let us help you try and find ways to do what you want in a way that you probably want it. Because sometimes I've wanted to be like, sure, we'll say yes to that, and no one will be able to come to your event, and you won't be able to park anybody, and the visiting team won't be able to get in, and we won't be able to help with officials. And then it's like, okay, we said yes. Is this really what you wanted? And I think it's just it's so funny, because I remember, like, we talk about it, like, it's okay. You can tell coaches that this might not work. And
Yes.
and I know it's a hard thing, especially when you're young. Like, it's like
Yes.
a hard thing to like look at a person that's, especially in a D1, like high level respected coach, and be like, hey, this isn't the right thing for you. And they'll be like, well, do you know who I am? And it's like, well, I know who you are, but I'm trying to help you. So I 100% get this one. And this is one of the toughest ones, I think, for anyone to deal with. So I so respect you throwing it out there.
Yeah, I think it's something that you're always going to work on in your career. It's never going to come easy in the beginning. And it's not even now. Like, it's not even easy for me to say no now, and I've been doing this for a while. But it also comes down to, like, the smaller things that you say no to as well, like setting your own boundaries for yourself, like whether it's with your staff or whether it's what you overcommit to, like, okay, don't always be the one that is available to fill in for somebody and do all that, because then you're just taken advantage of. So there's like a fine line of saying no and setting those boundaries. So I think it's like finding that tact. And I always like to say, and I think Moyne kind of said this, like, it's a no for now. Like, how do we find another solution? Or I can't do it today, but I can work on it tomorrow. Or I can't fill in at this game, but I can fill in at this game. So it's like a no, but a no for right now and not for forever. The people that do it forever are just doing it to just get people mad. And that's not good. That's not good.
I also think a good part of, like, what you said is it is harder earlier in your career because people don't know who you are. So, like, I think that makes it even harder too, which is like one of the reasons, and I'm sure you do this with like some of your younger staff. It's like sometimes I'll be the one to say no. Like, they'll come to, and I'll like take it and be like, hey, let's talk to them together, because that way they can get like a feel for you and like understand, because now they know who you are, and there's a little trust to it. It is a really difficult thing that you get to learn, but I think the older you get, the easier it is, also because you can articulate the reasoning. And if you can't explain it, like you said, if you're just going to say no, and you can't like say, hey, like, let me get you this other date because this is going to fall in a football game and not be a good experience, is where you have a problem of like, well, why can't we do it? Because I said so. Like, if that comes out of your mouth, that's like,
the worst.
No.
Don't say that.
It's not worthwhile.
Only to your children. You can say that to your children. You don't need to reason with them, but with the coaches, you can reason.
Because then you'll just be like, why? I don't know. Once you hit that part of your child's life where the why question just doesn't end, then you'll just want to jump off a bridge.
So call us back when you get to that point, Marisa.
When you get to that point, let us know, and just remember that we said, when they just keep saying why, just walk away.
Oh my God, I love it.
Well, on that note, great tips. We're really humming. We number 4 already?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Number 4.
Say thank you. Simple, but I feel like people don't remember to like thank their staff, and like, their families, because you work a lot of hours, and there's people that put their heart and soul in helping you plan the event and make it a success. And, a simple thank you will just go a long ways in making people feel that, my hard work like was noticed, and, I really do enjoy this because I'm supported. And especially during crossover seasons, there's just so much going on, and like a thank you can just help, like, like make someone's day, feel so much better after like a long week or month going on. And also say thank you to your family and your spouse for their support, like at home. Hosting ACC Field Hockey Championship last month, for like a week, I was not home for many nights. So at the end of that week, I said to my husband, I said, thank you for taking care of things at home. I know it was a long week with everything that I got thrown at my way, and I was, home later than I intended. And just the whole month of the fall was crazy. So thank you.
Getting phone calls from people about stuff that's happening the next day, or yep, that's
Oh,
it.
yes.
Those are fun, those tournament events.
Yeah, and I think like nobody's really in it for like the pat on the back. Like I don't think that's what you're saying. Like we're not in it for like, oh, we need to be recognized in a staff meeting or something like that. But saying thank you really to anybody means a lot. And when you say it and you mean it, that goes so much farther than any sort of award or recognition you can get. Because when you know somebody means it, like that makes you feel like, wow, all of that extra work or like those long hours. And, your husband probably felt so good when you said that to him, like, yeah, she recognized that I was home for all this time. And, it wasn't our normal schedule. And the same thing goes at work. Like, when your staff member steps up and, does something extra or takes on something more, when you say thank you, that means a lot. And to me, that means a lot. And not many guests have said that on this podcast.
Yeah.
So I really, really like that one. It might be one of my favorites ever. I really like that one. So.
No, I think it's critical. And I remember you've done this forever. Like you've always gone out of your way, Marisa, to like go and find somebody and say your appreciation for them, which I think says a lot about you as a person and the character that you have. But I think it is something like super critical that people need to make effort. Like you need to think about it and put that effort into it. It doesn't just happen naturally.
Like I send an email after every championship we host, like individually or as a group, and say thank you, like, and just spell out like a few things that they did to contribute, just to show like I see you and you did a phenomenal job in helping us make this an excellent event. So thank you for being here and working.
Yeah, I try and like in my mind always at the beginning of every event, like especially the big events and end of event staff, always like gather them together and like say like specifically like thank you, look at what you accomplished, like remind them that the groups that we're supporting and like say how integral it is for them to be a part of it. And I feel like that always is like a good step, and that makes me like say, hey, check in, check out, like making them feel a part. I think a lot of saying thank you is people being seen and like feeling a part of a group. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they just feel like it's transactional, like, okay, well, you just need me to do something and that's why I'm here. And when you like say, hey, like I saw you do that and I, look at all these different things we did together, I think it really changes people's mentality and makes people really want to be more of a part of the group and want to contribute. And same thing when there's like a big moment or I saw something with a group that I supervise, like the more I've taken on in supervision, like I look for ways to be able to like target that person. It's not like a public thank you most of the time. It's mostly like, hey, I just want to tell you, like, I really appreciate what you're doing. I can see you doing a really good job. And like I can tell that makes a difference. And I know too, because when people have done that for me, it's meant a lot. So what a great tip.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Yes. Thank you, Marisa, for that fabulous tip. Let's go.
Okay. We're at the end, Jen.
I know. Last big one. All right, Marisa. So what do you know now that you wish you knew then? So what do you know now at this point in your career that you wish you knew when you first started?
It's important to delegate because you cannot do it all.
100%.
I'm so happy for you. That was not something that you loved doing at the beginning of your career.
No,
and I can say
did not.
I'm so happy that you've been able to
so
recognize
proud.
that. I'm very proud.
Oh, yeah. Because you physically cannot do it all. And you have staff around you that is talented to handle it and just get those extra things off your plate. Someone to take care of picking up officials at the airports, and someone is handing out the snacks to the team locker rooms, and okay, this person's going to handle being the team liaison, and work with your tourism group to handle all the hotels. for events. Like it just allows you to focus in on what the main things, and that way, if people have like other questions, then they can go to those people. They're not all coming to you. Your phone's not being blown up with like 200 phone calls. It probably still will be because you're running the event, but it's a few less phone calls because you can just go to, they know, oh, okay, you're running officials, I'm going to reach out to you. Oh, you're running team liaison, I'm going to go to this person. And it just helps you just stay focused and what you need to for the event, and just also like helps your staff like get more experience and let them shine a light on like these are their talents. This is why they were assigned these specific jobs.
No,
Yeah, I think that's a facilities thing where you guys feel like you have to do it all and not be able to
early
on.
Yes.
I think that like as you get it, it's very facility. I'm not that marketing. I'm very similar. I think it's like a type A personality too, but like you have to do everything your way. But as soon as you start to learn to do that and to delegate, like, oh, what a weight off your shoulders. Like, and then you feel more comfortable giving more and more out. And like, it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't have to do it all. It is a group effort. Nothing can be accomplished and be successful without everybody on this team. So yeah, that's a good thing to remind people of.
And what I think you made the best, like a great point about it is it's about developing people too. Like it's not just about helping yourself. In so many ways, what you don't recognize is you're not helping other people develop. And then you're kind of like, the longer I've done at this, and because like I clearly would be like, okay, I'm going to jump in and do everything, but it's not feasible, as you said. But like you have to be a conductor. You can't play every instrument, right? And so like the more you can help them master it, then they get to come on and do more skills. Like it's such a great, when it's all working like that, and when you're able to do all that, it's when everything is working its best. And it's so awesome that you've been able to see that and help develop people, because that shows your leadership and your skill. So that's a key. It's key. And I'm across the board, but I kind of agree with Jen. I think it's something bad in our area because I think so young, we're always like,
no offense to the facilities people. I love you all, but it's very across the board.
You'll burn the candle in every direction.
To
like try.
I still have to remind myself, like you can delegate this off to someone. You don't have to do this.
You don't have to be at every game.
Right.
Like that, you don't have to be at every game. It's hard sometimes because when you're younger, you're like, oh, I just want to like go get it. I want to hustle. I want to, and not to say you don't want to hustle still if you don't want to be at every game. It's just, you don't have to be at every game.
Right.
So.
And some people above us have always been like, okay, you have to be at everything. You have to do everything. And the one thing that I look back at is like, well, for some reason I was doing a lot more than that person that was above me that said I need to be at everything. So why am I doing that? So and it was a good experience, but at the end of the day, it's, it's not gonna be beneficial for anybody because you'll be a mess. The person the people underneath of you never learned anything. And, the event probably wasn't as good as it could have been. So this is the key one for me. I love this one. I'm going to play this back for myself all the time.
Very proud, Marisa. That's fantastic.
We are.
Oh, this is great.
Well, Marisa, thank you so much. We're so excited for all that you're doing. Still being a conference member, I get to hear about you from afar.
I know.
Everyone that goes out and visits, and I'm sure I'll make my way out on the flight one day, so I'm definitely gonna stop by. I don't think I've been there since you've been there, but
I've never been. So
you need to come with a team and visit.
You should.
I would love to.
It's a really neat place to check out. So
I would love to. And if
it's on
you're
my
ever
list
here,
to get back to.
And if you're ever here, you better come visit because we love you and miss you. So
see that little boy of yours.
One of my.
I know.
Yes. Oh no. I'll have to bring him for a tour. I would love to see what you all have accomplished too lately.
Well, we'd love to bring you around. So hopefully sometime soon when you can get up here.
Yes. But thank you so much. And thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you're following us on all your social platforms at AthCareerPod and liking us and following us on all your podcast platforms and rating, reviewing, commenting, everything.
Do it all.
do it all. And new episodes drop every Tuesday. So thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, Marisa. We love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
If you like the 5 Tips and Tricks podcast, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. You can rate and review us, including questions that may be answered on future episodes. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast for careers in athletics is part of Athletic Career Consulting. Check us out at www.athcareer.com. Don't forget to follow and like us on your top social media platforms.